Good morning, everyone. It's John. You're welcome back to the Kaiser Report. We're going live today. In light of all the things that have happened in the last week and a half, it's been unbelievable here in the Appalachian Mountains to see what's going on and to watch the goodness of people pour from all over the region, bringing in supplies, bringing in tractors, bringing in equipment to move trees in open roads that have been closed by mud. Unfortunately, we have a problem with regard to getting some of the roads repaired because they are completely washed away in some of these communities that you will find up in and around the Appalachian region of Western North Carolina. East Tennessee was hit very hard. Damascus, Virginia, Southwest Virginia, and Georgia. They're digging out and bringing back people out of the mountains that have been stranded there for days without power, without water, without food. And God bless those survivors, and God bless and take all of the people who perished as a result of this storm. The conspiracy theories abound, and you'll see time and time again on this platform and on the platforms of mainstream media where they're either downplaying the situation in certain areas, and whether or not it's due to what some of the conspiracy theories are is that it's due to blue state, red state. And I think that we all need to put that behind the caboose right now, because we have other areas that we need to be aware of and understand that politics is on one side of this fence, and the effort to rescue people and help people through whatever means possible, whether it's your faith-based organizations that have done a wonderful job in both the Carolinas and East Tennessee here. Samaritan's Purse, is located in Boone, North Carolina, whether you didn't know that or not, a very hard hit section of this area uh, due to this storm. And they've gone through time and time again trying to get into these mountainous areas that have been cut off. There are people that are hiking a mile and a half, 2 miles, and in some cases 3 to 4 miles to get to people that are stranded with water and necessary items that will keep them alive while the rescue people are at it. FEMA is doing the best they can with the resources they have. So don't believe the people that want to make you think that it's all the government. It's not all the government. If you look at your neighbors here, your neighbors have gone out of their way in many cases, surprisingly so, that it's our 9/11 here, and people are reacting in a proper fashion. And no one is worried about casting a vote or politics right now, because we're trying to recover from a natural catastrophe that took place here, and we need to pray and pray hard for these people that are suffering and in harm, still in some cases in harm's way. Anyway, on the political front, I guess you saw through the weekend that there's been announcements from both sides about how dire straits this government is in right now, but I'm not sure that half of what you hear on mainstream media is BS, and we know that now. There's more and more corruption being shown as a result of this. It's been uncovered that there's been misappropriation of congressional approved funds into several areas. But that doesn't mean that they can't print more money and do things for citizens rather than the illegal entries into this country, which everybody seems to be more and more cognizant of now, and the happenings that are going on in that fashion with the still open border. And the resources on a state level, in some cases, have been hit and hit hard as a result of the migrant infiltration into certain cities and areas in this country that have taxed the both the medical side of things. When you look at hospitals and clinics and things of that kind that have been impacted by the influx in illegal entries into this country, and now even more taxed by the influx of people that are in dire straits after losing their homes, their cars, their livelihoods, and all they have left is prayer and help from a neighbor, which we have gone out of our ways to do. It appears, and if you drive around here in Appalachia like I have for the last few days, you will see the impact of it. You cannot pass a parking lot that doesn't have a tent set up with supplies for somebody to stop and get that's in need. And that includes water and foodstuffs, and in some cases, apparel, to where people have lost everything. And we are a resilient nation, and the mountain people here in Appalachia are a very resilient population of people, and never worry about them taking care of their neighbor because they show up when it's important to show up. Across the world, we still have a powder keg in the Middle East with regard to what's going on with Israel, Iran, the Houthis, and Lebanon, and places of that in that area that are in flux right now, and not no signs of stopping until they get through and get every bit of Hamas cleaned out. And we need to. I listened to a talk this weekend from the exiled crown prince of the Persian people, as he put it. And he says that inside of Iran, the Iranian people would love to have a regime change there because they blame the regime for a lot of what's going on with the problems that between Israel and Iran, and Israel and Iran's backing of Israel's sworn enemies. So we have that to look forward to continue on. But our prayers are dedicated right now to the people that have lost everything here in the Appalachian region down through Georgia and South Carolina. It has been a devastating storm, a storm of the century, so to speak. And we are bouncing back. We are slowly but surely infiltrating ways into the mountains to get the stranded people some help, and we're working on it. There are an awful lot of private pilots and private helicopters that have donated their services, and God bless each and every one of you people. Volunteer fighters that have worked over 24 hours in some cases to search and rescue for people that may be lost or missing, or in some cases found in not good shape, along with the people who have perished. So our prayers go out to these responders and everyone that's carried a bottle of water or a piece of food stuff to these stations that are set up. God bless you all. Continue to do so, because this is not over yet. And now they're talking about the advent of another hurricane hitting on Wednesday of this coming week, making landfall in the west coast of Florida, is according to the maps that I looked at as late as this morning. So we're going to get some more rain, wind, and things of destruction that we'll experience one more time. And the resources are stretched thin, but be prepared this time. Listen to what your local people are telling you, and if they're telling you that you need to evacuate, please listen and do so, so you're not caught in the same situation as some were caught in during Helena here. So we came live this morning. Um, it's just almost impossible to put together a show anymore without having all these politics in your face, especially when you're only a scant 30 days out from election. I urge you, before this next hurricane hits, the only thing I'm going to tell you politically wise today is to get out and get an early vote in if you can, before the next storm or a reason that you can't get to a poll exists. So please think about that and think about who is telling you the answers to fixing things as opposed to word salad when you make your decision. It's a very difficult thing to plod through anymore because no one knows which side of the aisle is lying to you more and what their agendas are for the future. Some will tell you what the agendas are, and some will try to hide the fact that their agendas are being covered up by lies. And it's up to us to determine who said what and who did what, and we're not going to tell you who's right and who's wrong because we're not of that ability here, and then neither is mainstream media for that matter, but they have taken a side. It's obvious, it's in your face, and they make no bones anymore of telling you a lie straight face through the TV screen every day of the week. They twist the truth, bend it, and lie to you. So we have to make a decision based on what we know, not what we're told by the media, but what we see before our eyes and what we hear from these candidates and make the proper decision for our future. The future of the next 4 years will determine which direction this country will end up in, and one direction or another. Um, I'm not sure which one is worse than the other, but we at least have a track record from past performance to look on with both of these candidates, and we should be able to determine through our own minds which way we need to go, not which way the wind blows. The Kaiser Report often went out on tours, and that's why we call it tours and news, to these places, beautiful places in the mountains, in the Smoky Mountains, in the Appalachian area, places of interest that were small towns with a lot to offer that no longer are there. Places that we visited, and you can go through the library here and see postings from the past, like Asheville was one of our most watched um, tours or bits that we did in the downtown Asheville area. And access to Asheville right now is not possible for us. But it's a shame that some of the small towns that we did tour, such as Irwin and Spruce Pine and Banner Elk, and things in that region that what we showed you in those films no longer exist, or the businesses have been wiped out in one felt swoop by this storm. Hopefully, we'll be able to find new regions and new places to take you to, or even maybe when rebuilding starts, we'll go back to these places and see how it's coming along. But for right now, we're not out filming like some are. I just don't believe that it's right for us to have our cameras rolling through areas that are trying to recover, men and women that are trying to rebuild or trying to clear up, or even going to these aid stations for help. It's not fair for anyone to be filming these people right now. Let them do the work that they need to do. Let them get out and finish the reclamation that they're going through, and leave these people alone, because it's a very trying time for some, and the last thing they need is our cameras filming their misery. But I urge you all to say a prayer for these people. Pray often. Pray for this country. Pray for the salvation of this country, because we have a lot that has gone haywire here in the last decade or so, and we need to bring us back to a country that was designed by the grace of God and fought for on many, many, many theaters. We don't want to let that go down the river with all the houses that have passed by us in the last month. God bless you all. Thanks for tuning in to the Kaiser Report live broadcast today. And we'll see you all back here tomorrow on a normal Kaiser Report. So keep your eyes open for that, and pray like you've never done before for people, places, and things that are in dire need of prayer and help. Help where you can, when you can. There's a lot of GoFundMe sites set up. Samaritan's Purse is one that you cannot go wrong in dealing with. You know where it's going, and you know that it's fine and truthful, and your money will be going directly to the people who need it. So with that, have a great Monday. We'll be back here Tuesday morning. Bye-bye now, everyone, and stay safe. God bless.